Hi everyone, this is Mitch from the SportsChatPlace.com. It's Tuesday, June 30th, 2009. Here we're talking about my favorite weekly talk, and that's our weekly boxing talk. And, boxing last week looked like we were going into a huge sabbatical. We weren't, a lot of uncertainty, but this week we got a lot more certainty because the Marquez-Mayweather fight is back on, and it's back on in September. It's at the MGM. I wasn't so sure they were going to get that fight done. Ticket sales were really slow for the first time around, but apparently these are two fighters that want to get it done, and we want them to get it done. So, it's going to be at the welterweight limit at 147, which definitely goes in Mayweather's favor. But, obviously Mayweather having some problems training. Marquez, he's been nothing but tough his career, and he always seems to show up in the big fights. So I certainly wouldn't count him out. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of price we get on him. I know it's going to be tough for me to lay off. But in any event, that means that it's going to be Manny Pacquiao against Miguel Cotto, it looks like, in Las Vegas sometime in November. There were some questions whether the fight would be in New York at Madison Square Garden, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think this one goes down in Las Vegas. I think that Pacquiao gets the bigger end of the split. He's talking 70-30. He's even talking 65-35. I think he maybe gets 60-40 in this one in the champion share, but, I don't think it's such a big-name fight. I think Cotto is a gamer. I think he's tough. I think he's going to be big. I just think he fights a straight-ahead style that Manny is going to be able to get through there. And as we know, Manny's been, they talk about Manny fighting bigger guys in seemingly every fight these days, but he gets in there with them, and he's just throwing leather, and no one seems to be able to stand up when the Manny Pacquiao Manila Ice right hand starts getting through, and then, of course, that left is just a bomb. So, we'll see how that one shakes out. Of course, if the fight does go down when they announce the date, I'll be out there, so maybe I'll get a chance to meet some of you guys out there at the fight. I certainly would look forward to that one. In this past week's fight news, Arthur Abraham defending his title, personally, pretty much one of his mandatory defenses against the stiff. I certainly would like to see Abraham fight someone decent. He's a great fighter, and at least from what we've seen of him, and I certainly would like to see him in against a real contender. The other fight, though, of course, the one that was the big surprise, Victor Ortiz, Marcos Medina. Victor Ortiz, he came out, he looked like Victor Ortiz. He decked Medina in the first round, and then Medina got back up, decked Ortiz. So a great first round, really. That's definitely a round of the year candidate. And then we go into round two, and Ortiz scores 2 more knockdowns. We have 4 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds. They start mixing up, but you know what? Medina not ready to go away, throwing hard, heavy punches, bombs on Ortiz. And Ortiz, once he was cut, and the cut was definitely from a punch, he pretty much, he was done. He didn't want to fight anymore. The right became, unstoppable for him, and he basically quit. They said that they stopped it because he couldn't see because of the cut or whatever. No, he was getting hit by bombs, and he didn't want any more part of it. In the after-fight interview, Ortiz said to Max Kellerman, "I don't deserve to get beat up like this." Well, if you're a boxer, getting beat up is sometimes part of it. I've seen guys get beat up and win. It's going to take Ortiz a lot to get back into the heart of myself and to other boxing fans. I think he did a disservice to the sport by quitting. I don't think quitting is something that you do. I think you go out and, you take your beating. That's what people paid to see. They paid to see you give it 100%. We saw Miguel Cotto, the guy who's getting the shot at Pacquiao, who Ortiz maybe thought that he was going to get at some point down the line. Cotto in his last fight, against Cotto, it definitely could have gone either way, even way down to the decision in that one. But Cotto was certainly in a chance where he could have given up in that fight, and he never did. He came back and he fought like a warrior, and he lost to Margarito, and we never heard him say a word about plaster gloves or anything like that. Never made any excuses. So we respect Cotto. We're glad he's getting his payday. Victor Ortiz, I think you have some decisions to make about your future in the sport, because personally, I don't think you're a headliner at this point. I think you're a great fighter. I think you have a chance to be a great fighter, but I think there might be something missing in the heart at this point. It's a decision that comes from yourself, but certainly nothing that we can make for you. In any event, we got a lot more boxing coming up, so this is exciting. So this is Mitch from the SportsChatPlace.com. Thanks for joining me for our weekly boxing talk. I look forward to this one every week. Have a great day, and I'll be sure to check out all of our sports picks, write-ups, in action here at thesportschatplace.com.